You've probably noticed your favorite creators now produce an absolute flood of short-form content, almost like they're on autopilot these days. You have to wonder how they manage this massive output without spending every single night just slicing footage into tiny clips. The secret, believe it or not, isn't black magic. It truly comes down to utilizing very specific AI-powered tools that handle the heavy lifting. Lately, I've been putting some of the most popular ones like Clap and Opus through rigorous side-by-side testing so you can skip the wasted hours of uploading and mediocre results. After putting in a few solid years within the YouTube ecosystem, I can confirm that the short-form trend is completely real and it is definitely not going anywhere soon. My mission is to test every AI content creation utility I can find to honestly figure out which ones are genuinely worth dedicating your valuable time to using. Today's primary showdown pits two platforms promising the exact same thing against each other, turning long videos into viral-ready shorts automatically with AI. But the real question remains, which one actually delivers on that viral-ready promise when put through the paces? I will give you a spoiler right now. There is a third contender that is starting to win me over significantly, but we will absolutely get to that reveal later in the breakdown. Let's start this entire comparison where every creator feels the immediate impact, the user interface of each application. When you first log into Opus, it immediately feels like there is simply too much going on with far too many buttons and nested options blocking the view. It can feel a bit bloated and noticeably sluggish, especially for those moments when you just want to quickly preview your potential clips without delay. Clap, in stark contrast to that experience, immediately greets you with a clean, very fast, and intuitive design that encourages immediate action. You can simply drag your source files in or paste a link, hit the upload button, and within minutes, it's already spitting out your generated short clips. For any creator who is new to this whole process or someone whose primary concern is maximum speed, the Clap user interface is the undisputed winner here. It feels significantly more polished overall and generally far less intimidating for people who just want to get straight to editing. Now, we must transition to the absolute core function of these tools, the AI-driven auto-selection and the final formatting of the output clips. This is genuinely the part where the true utility of the software is tested, where the rubber finally meets the road for real-world performance. Clap's underlying AI demonstrates impressive intelligence in identifying the most engaging scenes from your long-form source material. It expertly prioritizes moments that feature genuine emotional beats, high energy points, and crucial calls to action within the video timeline. Furthermore, it integrates captions featuring smooth motion presets that genuinely look like they were crafted by someone who actively posts content. I fed one of these systems a full 57-minute podcast, and it promptly spat out over 40 distinct short clips that were already surprisingly clean for initial review. You can then easily jump into each individual clip within a simple editor to quickly tweak captions or adjust the trim length with great precision. The editing experience is basic in its structure, but wonderfully tidy and highly functional for making minor final adjustments. Opus, on the other hand, sometimes manages to grasp the overarching context of a long segment slightly better than its competitor. However, it frequently selects moments that are just a bit too long or too flabby, ultimately failing to create a truly catchy short-form hook. In my own rigorous testing runs, it certainly identified some key takes, but it also included a lot of dull, non-essential segments requiring frustrating manual trimming later on. I historically used Opus quite a bit before discovering Clap, but since integrating the latter, my dedicated time spent inside the former has dropped dramatically. To be fair, both platforms allow for quite extensive customization once you dig into the specific settings menus available to the user. The major difference is that Clap tends to deliver clips that are closer to being upload-ready straight out of the initial AI generation process. When discussing the actual editing styles, Clap provides a rather limited range of options, but every available style feels purposeful and highly refined. Opus, conversely, boasts a significantly broader library of stylistic treatments and caption aesthetics that aim to capture current trends. However, a good number of those Opus styles often end up looking clunky or slightly dated, like they are chasing a trend that passed last season. So you are faced with the clear trade-off. Clap offers fewer choices but delivers results that are faster and cleaner on average. Opus gives you access to more stylistic breadth, but this comes at the direct expense of speed and, sometimes, contemporary relevance in design. Let's now address the AI's comprehension ability, which is, critically, the foundational intelligence behind the entire operation. The quality of the AI directly correlates with what it correctly determines to be the most important and extractable information from your content. I ran the identical source video file through both of these services to see how their internal logic diverged in practice. Clap's algorithm seems to think much more like a seasoned digital marketer who understands current audience retention strategies. It consistently prioritizes strong hooks, satisfying emotional payoffs, and explicit calls to action, the elements that drive clicks and saves. Opus, unfortunately, often behaves more like a simple, diligent note-taker, focusing heavily on technical keywords and long-form discussion points. While it captures important informational threads, it frequently misjudges what will actually capture and hold the attention of someone rapidly scrolling reels or shorts. Put simply, Clap processes content with a view toward achieving high view counts, whereas Opus tends to function as if it is just archiving content for later retrieval. Pricing structure is, of course, an inevitable and major factor when making a final tool selection for your ongoing content creation efforts. Both applications kindly offer free trial periods, though these initial experiences are inherently limited in what they allow you to test fully. From my investigation, Clap's paid tiers appear quite straightforward, scaling neatly from the casual individual creator up to full-fledged production agencies. Opus operates on a credit-based system which offers flexibility, but can become surprisingly confusing and costly over the long term for heavy users. You are required to purchase credit packs up front, which are then systematically spent on every single export and any significant editing revision you make. If you find yourself relying on these tools constantly, that credit model runs the risk of becoming either a significant financial burden or just a managerial headache. I won't waste time dissecting the exact numerical values here, but the main takeaway is that Clap's subscription plans are much easier for most creators to instantly understand. Opus's credit-based method might appeal to those who strictly prefer a pay-as-you-go structure, provided you are skilled at forecasting your exact usage needs. So, what is the ultimate concrete bottom line when comparing these two heavyweights against each other right now? If you are an individual creator, a small YouTube channel owner, or an editor focused on churning out 3 to 10 high-quality shorts weekly with zero friction, Clap is an exceptionally solid choice. It excels because it is incredibly fast, provides predictable output, and delivers clips that are much more likely to be ready for upload immediately. Conversely, if you happen to be an agency or a dedicated editor who demands meticulous control over every single frame and you don't mind the extra time investment, Opus offers deeper customization. But here is where I need to be completely transparent with you. While both tools are genuinely good, neither of them represents that singular, perfect solution for every single workflow. That is precisely why I have increasingly gravitated toward testing and actually using a third platform called Vizard in my daily creation process lately. Please understand this is not a paid endorsement or a sponsorship plug, but simply an honest tool that happens to align incredibly well with how I prefer to work. What truly sets Vizard apart for me are 3 core functionalities that offer massive daily time savings across the board. First, its auto-editing smartly creates viral clips that actually demonstrate a deep understanding of what content is currently performing well on the feed. Second, there is an auto-schedule feature where you define your desired posting frequency, and it queues everything up for you automatically, which is huge. And third, the centralized content calendar allows you to manage, tweak captions, and publish across all social channels from one singular dashboard view. That final organizational feature is more impactful than many people realize because managing visibility saves hours that would otherwise be lost to context switching. Vizard's AI for auto-editing manages to nail those crucial viral moments even more consistently than Clap did in my comparative testing. It effectively executes that intelligent marketer-like selection process that Clap does so well, but crucially, without entirely sacrificing contextual integrity. The pacing is generally smarter, the captions are better placed, and it lets you batch tweak templates to maintain a unified brand look across dozens of clips simultaneously. This means far less time wasted on manually correcting minor color grading, resizing typography, or adjusting caption positioning for every single piece of content. The scheduling mechanism is where Vizard truly pulls ahead for creators who are genuinely serious about scaling their repurposed content operation effectively. You simply determine the desired cadence, like posting 3 times every week, and the AI builds and slots those clips into the perfect times automatically. It automatically optimizes for platform-specific constraints, eliminating the headache of manually exporting hundreds of files just to schedule them one by one later. It genuinely feels like you've hired a highly efficient distribution assistant who intimately understands the best times for audience engagement. The content calendar feature, while often overlooked, is an absolutely massive advantage for any serious content manager aiming for control. It serves as your unified single pane of glass for viewing every single piece of repurposed content you have generated and planned for release. From this view, you can fluidly drag and drop clips to reschedule them, customize captions specifically for TikTok versus Instagram, or even assign unique thumbnails. For teams and solo creators managing multiple channels simultaneously, this level of centralization transforms workflow from absolute chaos into something truly manageable. Now, don't misunderstand my praise. Vizard is certainly not infallible because honestly, no software tool ever truly is. There will definitely be times when you still desire the incredibly granular frame-by-frame control that Opus is famous for offering its dedicated users. And if your primary need is just a handful of incredibly stylized and aesthetically pleasing caption templates, Clap's out-of-the-box presets are genuinely excellent and super fast to implement. Ultimately, Vizard successfully bridges that gap between needing speed and requiring detailed, hands-on control for the vast majority of content practitioners. It provides fantastic, fast defaults when you need to be quick, but it always leaves room to get hands-on with the editing when strategic adjustments become necessary. If you are currently evaluating which one of these platforms deserves a spot in your creator toolkit, here is a super quick decision map I personally use for guidance. If your main goal is to generate polished, upload-ready shorts with almost zero post-generation fuss, Clap remains an absolutely excellent and reliable option for speed. If you require the deepest level of editorial oversight, or you are creating highly unique, custom work for demanding clients, then Opus is worth investigating, especially if you prefer credits. However, if you seek a genuine middle ground, smarter AI selection coupled with built-in scheduling and a calendar for true scale automation, you absolutely must look into Vizard. Vizard is fundamentally built around creators who want to automate the tedious aspects of repurposing without ever sacrificing their overarching content strategy. Before you commit to any single one of these powerful services, take a moment to truly self-assess what your current content demands actually are. Are you prioritizing content that is ready to post with virtually no manual intervention required after the AI runs its course? Or is your priority rooted in the ability to meticulously tweak, adjust, and control every single pixel and frame of the final exported video? Or perhaps the ultimate question is, are you actively trying to build a robust system to post consistently so you can grow without ultimately burning yourself out completely? Your honest answer to that set of questions should be the single biggest factor guiding your final choice between these three excellent options today. All right, that concludes this in-depth comparison for this session. So if you found this deep dive helpful, please smash that like button and subscribe immediately. I am committed to testing all these emerging tools thoroughly so that your time isn't wasted on the platforms that simply don't make the cut for professional creators. If there is significant interest, I can certainly create a dedicated follow-up video that walks through Vizard's scheduling and content calendar functions in real time. I can show you the exact process I use to transform a single 60-minute stream into a full month's worth of consistent, ready-to-publish short clips without staying up until the early morning hours. Thank you for watching, and I genuinely look forward to catching up with all of you in the next video, where we dissect another essential piece of creator tech.